Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and my presentation is called Social Cognitive Theory, You're in Control. Now, with the library research session, well, let's start from the beginning. As a librarian, part of my position is teaching research sessions. As of 2025 spring, we have initiated a asynchronous model for our one-shot sessions, which are sessions where you are taught about the library and where to find things and how to do things, right? Now our classroom sessions are only on research projects, okay? So it goes into using OneSearch, but only when the student has a thesis or keywords they want to use to kind of to research something uh, and get an idea of what they want to write about. Social cognitive theory posits that factors such as economic conditions, socioeconomic status, and educational and familial structures do not affect human behavior directly. They affect it to the degree that they influence people's aspirations, self-efficacy, beliefs, personal standards, emotional states, and other self-regulatory influences. Before we talk about social learning theory, let's talk about the class that I teach. Um, so, as I said, I teach research classes, and what we have to take into account is that these students are currently now, they're coming from high school during the COVID years. Um, and so, for many, this is the first time they're writing a research paper. Uh, and in these slides, I go over how the library is there for them specifically, how they should feel comfortable coming in. There's a pre-survey, which you should feel open to taking, which allows me to get information on what they know before the session. We go over where they get information, how they retrieve it, what they know about misinformation and disinformation, recommended fact-checking sites, and then we have one activity where they have to identify misinformation, disinformation, or factual news. And we go over SIFT, which is a model for information assessment. So it's stop, investigate, find better sources, trace claims. Activity 2 is group work, where they find an article on one of these databases, and they work together in groups of three to four to answer these questions on it. And then we go over MLA style, because that's usually what the professors want us to go over. Sometimes it's APA, but that depends on the class I'm teaching. We go over commonly respected online news sources And the peer-reviewed journals depends entirely on the class and what the project is about, because I don't want to list a journal on psychology when the class is on English literature, okay? There are 2 videos on plagiarism and academic integrity. One teaches them how not to plagiarize, and the second video is a fun, cute video that goes over a student who doesn't want to actually do his work, plagiarizes, and gets kicked out of school. Our last activity is ghost citations, which kind of covers the problem of AI and ghost citations, citations that don't actually exist. So the activity is to give students a list of citations, and their purpose is to, using Google Scholar or OneSearch, search the name of the author, find out if they're real, find out if the journal title is real, find out if the article title is real. Basically, they have to discover what about the citation is incorrect. Sometimes it's even a comma that's supposed to be a period. Okay, these things get away from you. Then we discuss some additional sources from the library. And then the presentation is over. And after the presentation is over, there is this general post-session survey that I provide. And also you can take this if you want to as well. It's pretty similar to the first one, but yeah. So when I'm teaching these sessions, I want to look at attention. Do I have their attention? I want to look at retention. Is the work I'm doing being retained by the students, which is what I'm able to see after the class when I look at the post-survey results. I want the students to mimic how to search an article. So obviously I go through that during the class, how to search something, how to filter results, things like that. And showing them that it's something that's simple, that's easy, should be able to motivate them with their practice activities. And afterwards, when they're done, they should feel good about themselves and about what they've accomplished, right? So what another thing that we have to consider is the factors affecting observational learning and performance. So we got to look into the developmental status, the model prestige and competence, vicarious consequences, outcome and expectations, goal setting, values, and self-efficacy, and their effects on modeling. So you want to consider that, and we have to consider that when we're teaching the students, okay? Finally, this is a book by Albert Bandura, Self-Efficacy, The Exercise of Self-Control. It is a very useful book. It goes over his ideas, and you can access this book from multiple CUNY libraries. You can request it to come to Hunter, and you can pick it up there. If you work at a different CUNY, you can request that it goes to that CUNY, whichever campus you're at most often. Here are my references, and that's all. Thank you. Have a good day.